Okay guys, well, this is going to be drawing number 2.6, the shear plate. At this point right now, we are going to learn basic geometry, relearn it in a sense to figure out angles that we need. So to start us off, let's look at the drawing here. The drawing is pretty much talking about the shear plate. Now every drawing in here, just like on our regular drawing papers, we need to have everything centered, which means the object must be in the center. So just like we showed in the last videos, it's pretty easy. This is the center, right, for those three. This one you would need to figure out your measurements, which we'll go over in the next video. But this one here, there's no real way to figure out this without doing calculus to figure out the size of it and do the Pythagorean theorem and all that other stuff versus just drawing it on green paper first. So that's what we're going to try to do, is we're going to draw it on green paper first, make a box for it, and then we'll know the size of the box then before we can center it on the white paper. So this video, I'm just going to literally draw this thing right in front of you so you guys know what's going on. So let's just blow it up first. So let's zoom in here. Okay, so I'm looking at it right now, and right now I have multiple angles. But the first thing we must really understand is a straight line is drawn at 180 degrees. We know if we have a line that gets bisected by two angles, angle 1 and angle 2 must also equal 180 degrees. Same thing for three angles, 1, 2, 3, they all must equal 180 degrees. A triangle equals 180 degrees. A four-sided object equals 360 degrees. And the last but not least, a proof, right? With two parallel lines and a line that bisects it, angle 1 and angle 2 must also equal 180 degrees. And of course there's multiple different proofs that you can use, but these are the most basic knowledge we're going to need to know in order to draw this. So first things first, a straight line is drawn with your t-square. So real quick, let's look back at this. Let's draw a straight line off of angle A and B. So here's angle A and here's angle B, or point A and point B. That line will be parallel with a point that comes off of F. Now it may not look parallel, but we're just going to imagine it's parallel and then make the representation that that's parallel. So looking at this, the only way that I can draw these lines with the angles that I need is simply, I'm given an angle, and so if this is a straight line, angle 1 and angle 2, just like our proof down here, tells me this one must together must equal 180. That's 135, this must be 45 degrees. So there's that angle. Now for the next line, which is this one, this line is not touching my t-square, which I stack triangles on my t-square to actually get the angle. So my first rule I must do is I must extend this. I must extend this down to figure out this angle. So I need to know that angle. Well, take a look. This is a triangle right here. I know this one, 135. I can figure this one because this is a straight line with a line bisecting. That's angle 1 and angle 2. This is 150. Therefore, this must be 30 degrees. So 135 plus 30 is 165. Therefore, 165 minus 180 must equal 15 plus 165 is 180. Alright, so there we go. So this one's 15 degrees, which is this one right here. And I like to highlight stuff just so it makes it easy. So this 15 degrees is that line right there. Now this one here, 45, is this line right here. Make sense? Remember, the rule is I need to draw the next line, but the line isn't touching my t-square. So what do? I project it. Now I'm going to make this line be the bisecting line to figure out the following angles. So there's two ways you can figure this angle here, because this is the angle that's touching. Now I can use this angle or that angle, it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to shoot for this angle, and the reason behind it is because I can solve this triangle, right? Or I can solve this four-sided object. Okay, so I need to know this angle. in order to add this one to get this angle, which is the one I want to know. If this side's 120, therefore this side must be 60. 60 plus 15 is 75, therefore this must be 105 degrees. So, just like we did last time, this line is 105. Okay, so that proves this line right here. Now what I need to know is this line. We'll take a look. We already know right now that it's touching this, so I just need to know this angle. Well, why don't I just add this plus that? Oh wait, I don't know that one, so I can't do that. So adding 3 angles up doesn't work for this one because I don't know that angle. Because this is the angle I need to know. I need to have 2 of them in order to solve for the third one. So, it's simple. I've got to figure out this triangle. These 3 angles must equal 180. If this is 105, therefore, the other side must be 75. Now, real quick, just so everyone knows, 180 is a straight line, right? Angle 1 and angle 2 must equal up to 180. I know this is 105, so I just went 105 minus the 80. Therefore, I get 75. That's how I'm just doing my quick math. All right, so therefore, that side must be 75. Okay, well, take a look. I still need to know this angle in order to solve for my real angle I need to know. Well, here we go. We got a proof here. Remember, if I have a line that bisects 2 parallel lines, the inside angles 1 and 2 must equal 180. Well, here's angle 1. Here's angle 2. If this is 105 and they together must equal 80, therefore this side must be 75 also. So take a look. 75 plus 75 is 150, minus 180 is 30. So this angle is 30 degrees. Boom, boom, boom. So we've solved for that. Now, last but not least, I need to know this angle. Well, take a look. I can add those together. 105 plus 30 is 135. All 3 of these must equal 180. Therefore, this must be 45 degrees. So there's that one. So I'm going to do my highlighting again just so we can keep things on track. All right, so here we go. I need to know this angle. First rule, I extend it up. I extend it up. This is the angle I need to know. How do we solve it? Well, we got a triangle here. This is 45. This is 150. Therefore, this must be 30 because it's a straight line, angle 1 and angle 2. Okay? So 30 plus 45 is 75. Therefore, this must be 105. There we go. Bingo bango. We are doing good. Last but not least, we got 2 angles left. This is the angle I need to know. Notice it's not touching my T-squared lines. So what do? I extend it. Now we're going to play a little imaginary game here. When these 2 lines come together way out here in the unknown, I just need to know this angle. So we're just imagining that they came out and connected way out here. So take a look. This is a triangle, right? This side's 90. We need to know that one. But this is a straight line that's bisected. This is a straight line that gets bisected by this 105. Therefore, this must be 75. So 75, there we go, 180. So we're going to go 90 plus 75 is 165. Therefore, minus that from 180, this comes out to 15 degrees. So this one's 15 degrees right here. Boom, boom. Last but not least is my last angle. First rule, I extend up. This is the angle I need to know. Well, I can't do a triangle out of this, but I can do a 4-sided object. That's 75, this is 90, this is 60, therefore this other side must be 120. So we're just going to pull the calculator out real quick. So we're going to add these guys up. 75 plus 90 plus 120. I'm going to minus that from 360. Therefore, that angle right there must be 75 degrees. There we go. Now, the reason why we had to do this, guys, is so that you knew the angles to draw this at to make it a very simple drawing, because you essentially have to redraw this twice because I need to know the size of this box. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to the filing cabinet where you guys store all your folders with all your drawings in it, and on top of that filing cabinet there is a rack full of green paper, and you're just going to grab it. I'm going to zoom out now so we can see what the heck's going on. I'm going to keep this handy because we're going to use it. I'm going to tape this down real quick just so we can be done with it. And then we're going to start drawing this. Now, it doesn't really matter where you draw this on the green paper, and it doesn't matter that you have a border, because you're going to end up redrawing it and tracing it at a later time. So what matters though is that you draw it and the whole thing fits on here, because if it doesn't all fit on here, then you're going to hate your life and you're going to have to redraw it again. So I always like to kind of look at, oh, I don't know, get this thing looking nice for you guys here. There we go, for the most part. Okay, I'm just going to choose point A somewhere right here. Now I'm going to draw this fairly quick just so we can kind of see it and we can get through this drawing. So I'm going to make point A and I'm going to draw a very light line. Doesn't matter to me so much, but I do know my measurements off of this. And if I was to look at this, it tells me it needs to be 94. And I know you guys can't see that very well, so you guys will have to look at your own drawings. So that one's 94. I'm going to grab my metric scale. I'm going to use my t-square to its benefit, slide this guy up, grab my divider, because we always stab with our dividers rather than our pencils because it's always nice and clean. So I'm going to go 94. There's my 0. Here's 90, 94, 95, 94. Boom. Now real quick, now that I know that's 94, this thing always likes to go back in there. Oh, I can get this bugger out there. There we go. So I have a stab mark of 94. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my drawing, and I know that this angle right here is at 45 degrees, so I'm just going to grab my 45-degree triangle, like so. I'm going to lay it down here. And remember, right now we're not looking to draw this so perfect, we're just looking to kind of go long with things. Now I need to know how long that needs to be, and it tells me point A or B to C should be 40 millimeters. So I'm going to line this guy up just like so. Grab my divider, stab 40. There it is. Now this next angle is at 15 degrees. So I'm going to stack two triangles on top of each other. Remember, if two triangles are together, the 30 and the 45, and the 90s are away from each other, like so, then it becomes really simple. Becomes really simple however you want to stack these, as long as the 90s are away from each other. Any way you lay this down, the top angle is our 15 degrees. So here we go. Now I'm going to extend it back like this. Here's my angle I need. Remember, I'm just drawing wild right now because nothing really matters too much. Okay, so this is going to be CD. CD should be 35. And I better double check I'm getting all these right because it's so fuzzy even on my page. So real quick here. Yeah, so it's 35. So now I'm going to just quickly put that on there. There's 35. And that angle is drawn at 105, so I can simply lay this guy down there, and I can draw at 105. Remember, we're going wild with all these right now. Okay, you need to know that angle, and that angle ED, or C, or DE, is 57. So I'm going to lay this on here like so, just like we did last time. This one's drawn at 30 because we've already done all our math already. So remember, we're drawing wild at first, right? Okay, now I need to know that angle, and that one there is going to be 87. So I'm going to put it on here like so. Now this back one is drawn at 45 degrees. And that one there is drawn at, it's going to be FG, so it's 61. And I know that one's drawn at 75. And that angle there, or that line, is GH, and it's 48. Set it back on here. We're going to go 48 again. I know that angle's at 15 degrees. Okay, now I need to know that line, and that line is going to be JH or HJ. That's going to be 85. And I know this one's at 75. So it doesn't go this angle, so I've got to flip it. I've got to go back this way. Okay, and this is the last line, and that one is going to be JK, and it's 53. So let's put it back on there, 53. So it doesn't go long enough, so I got to extend it a little bit longer. $53. Last but not least, I just connect these. Boom. There it is. Okay, so now I have my object, right? And of course, if I really wanted to, I could go back and I could erase stuff that I don't need, like this line, but this doesn't really matter right now, and the reason behind it is because I'm simply going to retrace this onto the white paper. So real quick, now that I got this all set up, my first step I'm going to do is draw a box around this so I can center it on my white paper. So I'm going to use a different colored pen this time so we can kind of see the lines. So here it is. Remember, I need to go parallel off that top point, and then I need to go 90 off these, and 90 off this point. Now I just need to measure this thing. So this thing has a length of 100, and it's halfway between the 213 to 14, so I'm going to go 214. So this is at 214, and the height is 137, it looks like. Yep, 137. Okay, now that I know my size, I'm just go ahead and break this off. Okay. Now what I need to do is figure out to center this on here. So now we get to the fun part. So real quick, I'm just gonna kind of show you guys something real quick. If I have a border, let's just call it, that it has the same set in like this, I'm trying to center this box inside my title. So from here to there, from here to there. So what do I got to do? I got to measure my actual opening in millimeters to find out. So I'm going to put this on here. So we're going to measure this. This is saying it's going to be 267. So this opening is 267, and this height is 182, 183, 183. So real quick, the math. So here's my box. My box is 214 across, so it means it's got to fit right here. So what do I got to do? I got to go 267 minus my box, which is 214. Okay. Okay, which comes out to 53. Well, there needs to be an equal spacing on this side over here and an equal spacing over here on this side. So with that leftover 53, I'm going to divide it by 2. I come up to 26.5. So what I need to do is simply take this, put it over here like so. I need to come over 26 millimeters, 26.5 millimeters. And last but not least, I better straighten this out. There we go. Looks good. So I'm going to come over 26.5. So there's going to be 5, 26, 27, 26.5. Then I'm going to come back 26.5. Actually, from that mark, which is right here, I'm just going to come over 214. So 214. And this should be 26.5. And look at that, it is. Perfect. So there's my vertical lines. And remember, at this point, we're drawing very, very light because we're going to redraw this darker. So it's very important that I'm light. My other box, very light. Because we're going to come back and darken things up and center it. Okay, here's our math again. My box is 183. My box is 183. My opening, or actually I'm sorry, my opening is 183. My box is 137. So we're going to do the math. Here we go. 183 minus 137, and then we're going to divide that by 2, just like we did here. That came out to 26.5 millimeters. So here we go. 183 minus 137 divided by 2 is 23. So I need to come down. I did that wrong. That was, I'm sorry, this number was 46, and therefore equals is 23. Okay, so I need to come down 23 millimeters. I need to come up 23 millimeters, and then my opening would be 137. Divider, here we go. I'm going to go right on my line, coming up 23, 21, 22, 23. Boom. And then from that point, I'm just going to go ahead and climb 137. 5, 36, 37. Pink. Boom. There it is. Therefore, this would be 23. Oh, hang on. Something's wrong here. I think I did my math wrong. So let's do this again. This is 183. Oh, it's 193. I'm sorry, I was measuring that wrong. This is 193, not 183. 193. Something was wrong there. Because see how this opening was larger than that opening? So I did my math wrong, and that was I measured this. It was actually 193, not 183. Okay, so I'm going to go 193 minus my box, 137. And then I'm going to divide that by 2. So 28 is when I need to come up. So here we go. There's my line. Coming up 28. 29, 28. Pink. And then I'm going to go 137. 35, 36, 37. What's up, John?
Did you get all those messages today, emails from like MASCP?
I got stuff. I haven't looked at it. What is that?
This is like all the tables and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll look at it. So there's my opening. I better make sure I'm doing this right. 28, and therefore this is 137. Cool. Awesome. Is that 138 or 137? 137. There's 137. Okay. Now I'm going to draw this box real quick. Very light, right? Very light. There it is. Cool. I'm going to clear some stuff off here so we can see what's going on now. Okay, so it becomes real easy at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and take these off, and just this bottom half, I'm going to slide this underneath. And now it might not work the best on this because it's still way too dark. I'd have to darken these up. So what we're going to do real quick is well, what's the easiest way? What the easiest way to do is there's a light table over by the sink. There's a light table over by the sink. So what I could do is I can line this box up with this box, and then I can use my divider and I can simply just stab these points through onto this to draw it. Because I can't see very well underneath here, we're not going to be able to do that, so that's kind of a crap point. So it kind of sucks. Trying to make it a little bit smaller for us here. Maybe I can get it to go underneath there and I can see stuff. So, man, it's so hard. Actually, I can see it a little bit. You probably can't, but I can. So I'm going to line that up real well, making sure that I'm flat. I'm on there. Looking good so far. Like I said, you can't see it very well, but I can. Just keep that in your mind. So it's looking pretty good right there. And now I'm just going to simply stab my points here. So there's a point. There's a point. There's a point. There's a point. Yeah. Man, I wish I could see this better. There's a point. There's a point. There's a point. I can't really see this line. Oh wait, there we go. There's a point. It's really hard for you guys to see, but I can see it. So there's my points, and I'm just simply going to draw these ones really quick again. So from here to there, and 15 degrees, because that's what it is drawn at. Jiminy crickets, I can't really see that very well. So there's that point. There we go. So you got to stab a lot better than I did. I should have taken this off and stabbed all my points. But besides the point, you guys will have all these lines on here. Okay. Yeah, I need to stab these a lot better. So, hold up for a minute. I'm going to go stab these points over. So I have them. Be right back. How's he doing right over there? Back down again. Okay. 45. I'm just going to redraw this. It didn't work out very well on my end. Now that I have it centered, I can redraw it, of course, and I know all my angles already. So, here we go. FG is 61. Set it up there like so. Stab my 61. And I know this one's at 75. Remember, I'm being very light because I'm going to go back and erase this stuff later. Okay, and that line there is GH, which is 48. Okay, and this last one's at 75. Simply go like this. And look at that, my stab mark does line up. So that one's 75, that's that. Okay, so here's the box. Last but not least, I've got to measure this, and this was 94, so I have a first stab mark because I didn't stab it on there very well. So 94. Now I'm going to connect this. Now I know it, so I'm going to darken it. Come through, and I'm going to darken this now. Keep in mind, I'm using the pencil rolling method. Rolling the pencil when I draw it, which is important. Here we go. Bingo bango. And of course, darken all this up. Okay, there we go. Now, real quick, if we go back to this, I would need to come up 24 to get this horizontal line, and then off of point A, I'd come up to find the center for this circle, which is drawn at 15, a diameter. And then, of course, I'd need to come over 73 in order to find this circle, but this circle is a different diameter, and that diameter is 17. So this line and this line are parallel. Real quick, this line and this line are parallel, and this line and this line are parallel. So let's draw it real quick. Off the point, remember, we're just going very light. I need to come up 24 millimeters. Okay, need to come over 73, so very light, right? Let's come over 73. There's that one. Keep in mind this line and this line are going to be parallel, and that's drawn at 45 degrees. So I'm going to come off this point, be very light, right? That line length is 81 millimeters. So I'm going to come over here, stab 81 millimeters. Okay, and now this line and this line are parallel, and that's going to be 75. See you later, Kylie. Sweetness. Alright, so now I have the centers for these circles here with that one, this one with this one, and this one with that one, the centers of them. So I'm simply just going to grab my compass like I do here. So the first one's 15, so half of that would be 7.5. So I'm going to bring it in here. 7.5 is so bloody small, it's going to be so hard to draw, but I'm going to give her hell. There it is. There's my 15. I'm going to come over here. Half of 16 is 8, so 8.5. There's this one, because that's 17 in diameter. Perfect. Now this one here has a radius of 19, so half of 19 would be 9.5. Okay, so that's this circle. I'm just simply going to do this real quick. Now from the center of that down here would be 24. So I'm going to set this and go 24. And that's going to be this one. Right? Now this should be an opening of that, so real quick I'm going to go across here like so. Across here like so. Okay. And then I'm going to go my straight across stuff here. Like so. There it is. And then of course I need to make my center lines, because on here this is a center line, so it's a long dash, small dash, long dash, small dash. Same here, same here, same there, same here. So real quick, small dash, long dash, small dash, long dash, small dash, long dash, small dash, long dash. I need to do that up here. Small dash, long dash, long dash. Same for this one. If I can get it over there. There we go. Small dash, long dash. I screwed that up. Yeah. Alright. And then verticals. There we go. Of course I'd need to do this one too. That's bad principle. There we go. Small dash, long dash. Slide this up. Small dash, long dash. Then of course, come with my eraser and my erasing shield, and I come up and I tidy up things and make it look nice. Last but not least, I'd need to measure this. And I know what it's supposed to be. If you've drawn it right, then you're going to write your measurement right here. Simply, you're going to say what it is, and it's going to be millimeters, of course. Hint, it's going to be 30 something. Okay guys, that's the end of this video. This drawing is going to be 2.4 shear plate. My scale is a 1:1. The date is blah blah blah, the period and the unit, and this is unit 2. Okay, if you got any questions, please ask me, but this video should be pretty self-explanatory after you're done with it. Alright.